This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
You'll have to tell me later.
Yeah, because it will get banned. Welcome to
The
show.
Yeah.
Today we are joined by our Courtney and I's 3-year-old.
I did help create him, you know.
Yes, he is in here. He's not hooked up to Mike, unfortunately, because that would have been actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But he is in here. So if you hear him, don't worry. You don't have a random ghost child in your car. It is our kid. And we have quickly found out that scheduling 3 people was difficult enough. Scheduling 4 people makes it even harder.
It was kind of a unicorn last week. That was
And
great.
It's also welcome week for us, which is our craziest week. Yeah, it's our craziest week of the year. And so finding a babysitter became even more difficult. So Courtney might be in and out, and you might hear kids, you might hear baby crying, you might hear...
And 3-year-old has lately started going without naps during the day sometimes.
Yeah.
So that wasn't going to be an option either. And then
Yeah. So our schedules are changing.
4-month-old is currently napping, but we'll see how much longer that happens.
We're working out the babysitter situation, and
this is why it took so long for me to come back.
yeah, but we want to make sure Courtney has the opportunity to come back. And so I figured you guys wouldn't mind hearing the occasional baby, the occasional
People
kid.
like it when they hear Bennett once in a while.
Yeah.
Just like,
That's really good.
And I think as long as it remains one of those, like, it's not like a every other word kind of interruption.
constant noise. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really want caffeine, so I'm going to get started.
Go
We're
for
done
it.
with the crankcacking competition.
Did you say it like that on purpose?
Nope.
The first part was
the first part was like
you just let it happen.
I was like, you know what? My brain's already doing that thing, so I might as well just let it happen.
Can you even say what you just said again?
I said crankcacking competition.
Competition
Or something like that. I don't know why I keep saying
Just started
crankcopping.
sounding like a banjo.
Crankcopping?
Crankcacking is what I kept seeing.
Crankcacking.
Can cracking. Cran is cran.
See, you even dropped the G
Crankcacking.
on cacking, so it's
Yeah.
not even crankcacking.
Cacking.
It's crankcacking.
Crankcacking. Crankcacking seems
Competition.
easier to say than can cracking.
Crankcacking.
Can cracking.
Say crankcacking.
Crankcacking.
See?
It definitely
just-
is the
it's like-
R. The
it's
R
like-
at the front
it
makes
tastes
it
better.
easier.
Jimmy Crankcacking.
I don't know how to
I don't
explain
care.
it, but it feels better. Okay, I'm going to open mine so I can have caffeine.
Yeah, go for it. I'm going to not do that because I need to go back home and go to bed after this. Wow, that one was really crispy. You got like 8 pops out of that. What happened? How was that?
See, I've got
The competition's over, so now my body's like, oh, you can figure out how to crank cap better.
mine is
Crank cap.
got an iced caramel macchiato.
What girl power?
I really like.
I know, right?
I really like the
I know,
TikToks
such a
that
white
meme on the like name a sound that's better than this, and it's the chick shaking
I
the
saw
cup,
that.
and then it's like
Yep.
a freaking supercharged V12.
I'm not gonna argue that that's the best sound in the world because I've literally seen those videos and I'm like, they're so much better. No, I actually was like, should I open a can during? I think I should do that because like I was drinking pop and stuff out of cans before I left, and we didn't do the can cracking.
Crankcacking?
Now you have me questioning what I said.
You said it right.
We didn't do it until I left, and so I feel like I've got to give my input.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen the memes that's like the equivalent of the everyday gas station energy drink boys is the same energy as the gotta have my Starbucks white ladies? And I haven't been back to the gas station to buy an energy drink since. I just order them online.
Wow.
I just buy the whatever is on sale at Walmart because there's usually something.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing a lot of the like skinny rains, the rain storms or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing a lot of those. They tend to have some bangs for sale, on sale and stuff like that. Just whatever they've got. They just kind of have like a section of here's all the crap that people haven't really been buying. Yeah. And it's like people don't seem to want to buy their energy drinks at Walmart, so they sell them cheap. So I buy them.
So
I think I'm even worse than basic white girls because like I found out, hey, iced coffee is like really good. Like 15 years later than everyone else. So it's like I'm not even like on top of the trend. I'm like glacially slow.
The trend is over and you're starting the next round.
Hey,
you're reviving it.
Gosh. I do like the taste of iced coffee. I don't like the sugar and all that, and like I like the 0 calorie. Like, I'm good. I went back and I buy all my stuff from Sam's Club, so it's like way cheaper. Yep. But they changed their flavors of the Reigns, and I'm sad about it.
I wish they had better variety. Yeah. Because
they've got all the monster varieties.
I wouldn't say all. Or at least when I was up there last, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great variety. Like they didn't have like my mango. They didn't have mango.
It's not even mango. It's mango.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys just have to take that, don't you?
They didn't have like a lot of my favorite flavors. I was like, there's plenty of other things that make that subscription worth it, but I really wish that they had more energy drink variety.
Yeah. I think when I was there, it's all the monsters that's like the main monster flavors. They have all of those.
They have the ultra ones.
They
don't have the cool, like the kind of one-off flavors.
Yeah, they don't have those.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
We didn't have that problem when Mike was here.
Okay, I can leave, but I'm leaving the toddler with you guys. So
okay, well let's get started on some breaking news things. Not breaking news, but just one-off news.
It's going to be breaking news to me because I probably haven't heard any of it. So
it's actually not even because we talked about the red heifer update last week. So have you guys been seeing all the things about the ice cream trucks driving around at like 1 a.m?
What?
Did we talk about this already?
No, please.
I caught one clip of this.
Please don't tell me it's going to be like.
It's like the killer clowns.
I was literally just thinking the killer clowns from COVID era.
It's got the same vibe.
Oh my gosh!
Was that 2012?
I don't know.
No, it was 2020. It was during the pandemic because people were like, of course, killer clowns.
Dude, I don't know.
I would say 2020 feels like 2012.
Unless that was
like it was 15 years ago.
Everything before 2021 feels like just 20 teens in general.
Yeah.
It all could have been 1 year.
Everything before 2020 is actually before the year 2000. That's how it feels.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, it doesn't, there's
it's like Bush was president.
Yeah. It was like, who was president during 2020? George Bush.
There was more color in the world.
Oh man. Anyway. Yeah. So that it has that killer clown vibes.
Great. Okay.
Good times.
So anything
but there's
more
also
on that?
There's kids that have been, and people have like started to correlate it with kids that are missing, but I don't know if it's actually, or if the kid, there's just kids missing all over. Because if you want to hurt your soul a little bit, look up missing people in your area.
No.
Okay.
It's way more than you think it would be.
So on that topic, did you see the conspiracy theory about the country singer? What was his name? I can't remember which one it is. Was it Garth Brooks? Who was it?
Oh yeah, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks and the Mordors that happened like on his tours.
Yeah.
Like along his tours. His tour, like, I haven't looked much into this, but
it's alarming. It is.
No.
It's one of those fun conspiracy theories. I wouldn't mind diving into that and doing all the
doesn't
details
sound
just
fun.
because it's.
Well, how weird
like,
is that, though?
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say,
it's just wild.
Giving, like, what's his bucket, that game show host who, you know, like, you want a vacation to Serbia. And
except
then
for
go, like,
instead of being a CIA agent, he's a
He's
a murker.
Serial marker.
Serial murker.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think murder was one of the ones that got us flagged.
I don't care. It's fun to say. It's fun to say the substitutes.
It's the same.
I'm sad that muck duck never caught on as a code word.
Agree.
Anyways,
it's too sharp. It's too choppy. Muck duck. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
But it does save it for when I do shorts on TikTok, because TikTok will ban you for those words. So it doesn't necessarily affect the podcast. It just affects if I want to use that clip for a short. Yeah. So let's keep using the fake words for it.
Can't you just blurb it out?
On another topic that we just recently talked about, we recently talked about. So I wish I had found this 2 weeks ago, but Helene Maxwell. I just found out she was a Disney talent scout for the bulk of her career before she got involved with Jeffrey Einstein. Fun fact.
Well,
just in case you guys didn't know.
I'm sick to my stomach.
The more the more we talk about Disney, the less shocking it is how many of their child stars wound up the way they wound up.
It's interesting to me that just with this one little headline, we just connected the last month of podcasts.
Yeah.
Because we went from dark Disney to textbooks, and there is a thread between textbooks and Disney.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the Maxwell family.
I like how random it was. Wild. Or how random it sounded.
You guys have got a hold of the plot for sure.
Dude, it's nuts.
I hate it. I love it and I hate it. I love that we have the content to talk about this, but I hate how real it is.
Admit to a mom fail? I started the Disney episode listening while I was off and not on, and I just realized I didn't listen to it. I had to pause it because I couldn't hear over the top of kids, and I never listened to it. So
you'll have to.
I know.
It's a good one.
I have to. So yeah, I know. I'm such a slacker.
Yeah. No, you're not a slacker.
Slacker McFly.
I have to go get a baby.
Ask Phil how many he's listened to.
Well, he's been on them though.
That's true.
I don't go back and faithfully listen to all the ones that I'm on, but
true.
the ones that I haven't been on, I've been wanting to keep,
my biggest problem as far as listening stuff back is that I end up listening to it over 6 different sessions. I'll listen to 20 minutes and then have to go do something else, and then 20 minutes the next day, and then so it ends up I just lose a lot of stuff in my mind. I don't remember the course of conversation.
I don't listen to so I have to edit it. So I kind of listen to it while I edit, but I don't listen to it, and then I will actually listen to it at some point. But a lot of times I'm driving while we listen to it, and that one's nice because I can just listen to it in one foul swoop, whatever it's
fell.
One fell soup.
One fail soup.
But
fail soup sounds like the next generation of Fail Army YouTube channel. Fail soup.
Oh, that's great. But anyway, otherwise I'll listen to it and very broken up, and it takes me forever to finally get through it. But it is nice for those drives. I'm not gonna lie.
My drives are an awkward amount of time because it's 20 to 25 minutes to get to work for me. And so it's long enough to get into an episode of pretty much anything, but it's not long enough to listen to a full thing.
We took a trip, speaking of trips, we went to the new Barnes & Noble in Rapid City.
Oh, yeah.
And on one of the days, Bennett was doing his thing. And he was hyper. He hadn't had a nap. And I got overwhelmed, and I sat down with him for a second, and I was looking, and there was a section that was the self-help books.
Oh, yeah.
and I was noticing some titles.
Self-help?
Self-help books.
You sound like you're saying self-help. Anyways, go ahead.
Self-help?
Self-help.
Self-help.
I'm just correcting you as normal.
Self-help. Self-help?
Okay, let's keep going. Going.
How do you
Let's keep
say
going.
self if you don't say
Self.
like self-help?
Self-help.
Yeah, self-help books.
F and TH sound very similar on the mic.
Yeah.
I think that was
confused.
the point there.
I was like, I feel like
Self-help.
I'm saying it correctly, but the
Spinal.
problem is
I took a
there's
chance.
so
It could
many
have been a
things-
Tannerism, but that's okay.
There's so many things that I do say wrong that I just assume that I'm saying
Mazepine.
it wrong. And so I was like, am I saying self-help
okay.
wrong?
Okay,
Mike Tyson.
moving on. So self-help. What'd you see in the self-help section?
So yeah, so I'm just kind of looked and I noticed this and I noticed the title. So I would just read the titles to you and then we can have a short discussion.
Oh, no.
White guilt, white fear,
Well, that's a great start.
white fragility, white rage, white supremacy. Right next to them, we had black genius, black like me. My name is George Floyd. And then my
Was
issue.
that your head dipping into the microphone?
Yeah, my hat bumped the top
I think
of
it
my
was
mic
appropriate.
I'm.
You're just like, man.
I know
Man.
we've talked more than I like to talk about racial stuff on the podcast lately, but it's frustrating to me that because I don't have any issue with the non-white titles because there were a lot of different and I literally just they were all right next to each other.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of the whole mindset of we got to tear down white people to bring everybody else up.
We just don't need to tear down
can't-
anybody to bring anybody
Exactly.
up.
I think
you
just
can't
lift everybody
You
up.
you cannot lift yourself up by tearing somebody else down.
No.
All you do is bring them down to your level. And
You're not even doing that. You're just pushing yourself further down.
Right.
Well,
really.
It's just
And
that
it's just
you
this.
have to be radically loud one direction or the other in order to feel like you're making some headway in
Right.
society. But all you're doing is just, at this point, is just adding to the noise. And just that's kind of my stance of it. It's just like, be true, be genuine. Don't be totally out there with oh, this is the hottest take. No one's ever heard it before. You didn't come up with anything original. I'm sorry. Just be honest with your take and where you're at, your experience. Don't have to pep it up and, make it extreme to one side or the other. But then that's not marketable. And we're all about being marketable in this world because otherwise you're not going to get any attention.
I think the solution for this, and I think people are starting to get there, is just stop giving that garbage a platform.
Exactly.
And people are really starting to just run out of patience with it and stop acknowledging it. People, as a whole, people are just there's fatigue with it.
Yeah.
And people online tend to label it as fatigue of the race that seems to be the primary driver on it. I don't think that's really the case. I think it's a case of we're tired of people just shoving crap in our faces and guilt tripping you for just who you are.
For existing?
For just existing as you are. And it's people are sick of it. And it's not it's not just the people who are targeted either. It's just people who have brain cells and
it's people having actual fatigue about it because we are tired of being wound so tightly on every single issue. Everything is just every turn in conversation is just a confrontation waiting to happen. It's a political divisiveness.
Oh, did you see this
waiting to
person?
happen?
Did you see this crazy fight that happened in wherever? Oh, are you saying that it's a race problem? How did you make that jump?
Oh yeah, we made this change back during COVID, and then you're just kind of waiting what did they think of COVID? And you just don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how much energy you're going to have to exert, and not even if you disagree with the person. I'm not afraid of disagreeing with people at this point, but it's just how much energy am I going to have to exert,
trying
thoroughly
to
discussing this.
Yeah, trying to convince you that I'm not
being genuine, but
evil.
not coming off as a try hard too. And it's just I don't know.
Well, and what I've seen is actually quite the opposite is that you people, once you start to get fatigued, there is a next stage past fatigued, and that is you actively fight against it.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see people actively fight against it. And I'll just throw out this example of the state of Colorado. The push of the state of Colorado has been, and I'm even just going to stay in the middle and not even try to be political one way or the other. But Colorado is very notoriously liberal, and you're seeing a lot of liberal stuff happening in Colorado. But the next generation, the kids that are like 14 to 22, are polling at like 75% Republican right now. And so what you're seeing is there's the ebb and flow. You're seeing you push one way too far, eventually
Pendulum
there's almost
swings
a
back.
rebellion.
Yeah.
And so to take it back away from the political aspect of it, when you push that like white guilt so hard, eventually you breed people who now the Kanye West H song is a trending audio, and it's almost like an act of rebellion, even though it's not like people aren't like, oh, white power, but it's more just like where you get tired of it, and it gets to the point where it's like, okay, now we got to be comical about this because we can't, you can't make me and as a white guy, like, I'm not gonna be ashamed of my race, and so you trying to shame me for my race isn't gonna work the way you think it will.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it kind of goes
it was
back.
just disappointing.
I'm not aware of the Kanye song. You'll have to tell me later.
Yeah, because it will get banned.
Thank you, Phil, for that one gesture that just explained everything.
I saw it. I was waiting for you to talk.
No, I was going to say.
Okay. HH. Got it.
It's
an arm
the
extended.
N-word. It's the N-word. HH is the song.
Anywho.
It's
Have I just been living under a rock? Probably.
your algorithm is suited to you.
Oh, hey, oh. But I think it kind of goes back to like the.
So I'll see it in 10 to 15 years. Is what you're saying.
I was waiting.
Sorry, Phil. I'm sorry.
You're
Go
good.
ahead.
You're good. I'm glad. You know what? That worked out really well to illustrate exactly how that works. Actually, you're either 2 minutes late or 20 years late. One of the two.
Yep, exactly.
But I think it kind of goes back to the whole thing of the internet giving everybody the chance to have a platform to just say out of pocket crap and people taking advantage of it that have no business having a platform, and it's just disappointing and irritating, and I just want to tell everyone to shut up. Like, so many people that just talk without having any knowledge of what they're talking about, and people just believe it. And it's just like, why?
Yeah.
And you should know better than to just run your mouth, and you don't. And I just want you
don't.
to stop talking. And that goes for so many people.
Yeah. So,
The thing with Colorado is interesting, though, because, like, we love Colorado. We've been Colorado sports fans since, like,
That's just because we don't have our own teams.
Like, and so we love Colorado. But their drivers are ridiculous. But other than that, like, we don't usually mind. We can put up with the, not as, I mean, every city's got like people where it's like, oh my gosh, but
Having worked
anyways.
next to Colorado, like on the Colorado border, not a fan of that state.
No, I'm sure not.
it's funny because
We can put up with it, but
I love Colorado.
just for visiting.
But even people who are from Colorado are getting tired of people from Colorado.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, it's not people
Need a
from Colorado. It's people from
countercultural
California
thing.
that
Had babies in Colorado.
invaded Colorado. It was an infestation. Now it's
California
Texas.
ruined
Poor
everything.
Texas, man.
No. But anyway, and with speaking of Texas,
I thought we weren't gonna
California,
get political
the
with that.
rezoning stuff. That's
Something
so
about politics.
Oh my
childish.
gosh, dude.
So childish. Did you? We'll talk about it after this.
That's
Super
I already
political, so we're gonna move on.
already bumped your transition, so go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead,
brought
do
us
it.
back. You brought us back to the politics.
It's all right.
Usually it's
She's
me.
2 minutes or 20 years.
See, usually it's I'm the
I
one
was
that brings
talking
it
about
back to
drivers and people being stupid in Denver.
Oh,
We're gonna-
man.
yeah.
Anyway, I know. I'm just kidding.
Courtney,
You started
2
mentioning
minutes or
states
20
and
years,
politics.
Sherlock.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what was your transition?
What's the next topic?
Did you guys see that AI, for the first time ever,
Uh-oh.
came out with new math?
Oh.
So there was a problem that mathematicians were working on, and I can't remember the terminology. I wish I would have just copied and pasted it, but basically it was like they were working on this equation, and they had it, and they had for the last 30 years, they had gotten it to like point, let's say 1A or whatever. They plugged it through AI, and it took 27 minutes, I think, if I remember right. Don't quote me on the minutes. It took a long time.
The amount of time it takes me to do one math problem.
The amount
average math problem.
The amount of energy that AI took in that 27 minutes to solve this one problem is probably insane. But it took 27 minutes, and it fed it back, and it brought them to like 1.5. Like it had solved it a lot. And then from there, they were like, holy cow, this is correct. This is new math. The math team then brought it to 1.75 solved or whatever, like just giving you an idea of like if one is its completion. Mm-hmm. So AI actually brought a 50% increase in 27 minutes, what they had been working on for like 27 years. And it's new. That's the thing that's important, because with AI, everything up until this point has been perfectly just regurgitated information that already exists.
Yeah.
AI now is solving and doing things that humans haven't done. And so it's new math. And so they're kind of pointing to it as it could have been a shift in AI.
And then a wormhole opened up right on the spot of the servers.
Speaking of AI, have you seen the stuff about Palantir?
Not recently.
That
like
was the company, right?
It's like the government's...
Which...
I remember us mentioning that a while back, and me making the connection of, from Lord of the Rings. And,
Yes, but also the owner of Palantir wants to basically, allegedly based off of his own words, so I'm just want to make sure I don't get flagged for it, even though he said it. But basically he's saying that like he wants to bring humans to the next level where we don't need bodies anymore.
Nope.
That's what the owner is. Nope. But so Palantir, all of their CEOs, COOs, all of those people, the high people in Palantir, they were assigned status as generals in the military for the United States. So now the people who are running Palantir are generals in our military.
Who made that decision?
Probably the same people who made that decision to name it Palantir. It's like,
well,
dude, clearly an evil, evil object.
It just
evil
makes me think of
because there's multiples.
The one parody video for like Apple announcing their new iPhone. I think I've showed you guys this, but it's been a long time. But the end of it, he just finishes up by saying like, Apple, we're so gosh dang evil, it's stupiginous. It's that vibe of just like if you see it's been a while since this like first got attention, but have you heard Jeff Bezos laugh?
No.
Dude, it's the most evil, like it's a straight up villain laugh. Like he laughs like a rich person who's like evil. Like it is, it's weird. Yeah, no, seriously, it really is. Like you need to look it up. Like,
oh no,
it's not to overtly call Jeff Bezos evil, but it's like that's the vibe of those people. And it's just like, at what point do they like break the illusion of like, we're not evil,
we are full, we're
for the people. Yeah, we're trying to improve things, and just turn like straight like villain monologue. For real. Like before they announce that the entire country / world is their slaves. Like we own all of you. Do what we say. No more illusion of freedom.
Right.
It's our time.
Right. It's
just waiting.
Well, and all of these guys have underground bunkers somewhere in the United States. Mm-hmm. And there's the new theory out. I don't remember. I was listening to a podcast this week. I want to give them credit, but I don't remember where it was from. But their theory is that that our government is trying to give cities over to corporations to run rather than the government. Yeah. I don't remember what podcast I was listening to. But anyway, if I remember, I'll give them credit in the
throw it in the Discord.
Text. Yeah. But
if you remember.
I want to give them credit. I don't remember where it's from. But anyway, they were talking about how it seems like they're like that Trump's big thing is that he's trying to integrate corporations into running the governments rather than allowing the governments to run the government. Mm-hmm. And that would be kind of on line with that 15-minute city.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that
theory or whatever. The 15-minute city. But anyway, we wouldn't have to worry about that as much here out in the boonies but thinking of like 1984, you remember the people that lived outside of the area were like pretty much normal, and then the people that lived inside the 15-minute cities were. But even just think about how our cities, how dramatically different the thought processes of people in the city versus out of the city are.
But yeah, 15 minutes city. Oh gosh, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could remember, because I saw a video of them designing one and laying the groundwork for it, and digging all of the foundations for it and stuff. And the way that they were describing it sounded so sketchy. And we'll like no need for cars anymore. We'll just have helicopter access, and we'll just evac through not evac, but transport through helicopters. And doesn't this sound great? And like the wave of the future. And I'm like,
just SpongeBob future. I hate it.
That sounds more like Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. That's you hear my son. Yeah, like I said, reminder, it's not a ghost in your car. It is our child. I saw a conspiracy theory that linked Melania Trump to being a Romanov, which is interesting. I did then see a conspiracy theory about Putin and how he was born, and it was nuts. His childhood is crazy. So
Russian.
There was, and this is based off of this video that I did not verify the information, so this could be a fake story. But basically, the video is saying that Putin's dad was a soldier, and he got temporary leave to go back home, and this would have been during, I'm assuming, World War II. So Putin's dad during World War II was on leave, and he was able to go back to his home village, and he goes back to his home village, and it's been just like massacred, and he's kind of working his way through like the people to try to find his wife, and he finally finds his wife, and she had passed. And so then he basically like begs the other soldiers that are not on leave or whatever to let him bury his wife rather than just taking all the bodies to one place. They allow him, and then as he's like moving her, he realizes she's still breathing. Ooh. So he then brings her to the hospital. They were able to heal her, and sure enough, she was actually pregnant at this time or something like that. Or I'm choppy rip. Like basically the whole reason Putin's even alive is because his dad happened to be on leave and happened to go home to this village that had happened to be massacred, and she just happened to be alive, and he just happened to notice because he had asked to bury her. And then now we have Putin.
Wow.
Who was also, interestingly enough, special a 3-letter agency with Russia.
KGB.
The KGB.
KGB.
Wow.
He was a KGB. But anyway.
Wow. That sounds like the plot of a novel. Like, really.
Yeah. It's weird. But it's wild. And it's interesting how...
all of those things are 50-50. Either they happened or they didn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people say, right? Gambler. That's the new Gambler's Files. Either you win or you don't. It's 50-50.
Wow.
I do not subscribe to that idea.
That sounds like my
Disclaimer.
math. Man.
Girl math. That's what girl math actually means.
Is it different than AI math?
Very.
Probably
AI math makes sense.
Girl math is I still need to buy 10 more books, but I have 15 on my shelf that I still haven't read. That's my girl math.
I guess Putin's grandpa was a chef for Lenin and Stalin, so that's fun. I'm telling you. But anyway, so yeah, the conspiracy theory that that Melania Trump is a Romanov is kind of intriguing.
Is that really a conspiracy theory, or
I don't remember. I think it's out there as fact, but I personally cannot figure out.
It's out there as out there as fact, as in like it's people out there have been putting it story.
Out as a
Yes, people have been putting it out there as though it is fact.
Oh, okay.
I personally don't know how I would go about verifying if that is a fact.
I don't know how you verify anything
because
anymore,
Trump
guys.
isn't coming out saying, "Yeah, my wife is a Romanov." You know, like there's no confirmation of it because she was also her childhood's very
if they
notorious. We'll put it that way. publicly, like they've acknowledged that her childhood is very notorious, or not notorious.
That's not the word you're looking for. He's not the word.
Troubled.
Shady, sketchy,
complex.
No, complex. Yeah, we'll put it that way.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Rapture time.
Shall we talk about this?
Ironically, I think that's what Tanner's going to talk about next.
It is. So Phil, you sent me a video. I had seen it once. And when you sent it to me, I was like, you know what? I better watch this again. And so I started watching it, and I have now listened to this video like 20 times.
That's about how many I think it probably takes to fully
how long
memorize. It's only like 15 minutes.
Only. Oh my gosh.
I then went through.
How hard it is to watch that long of a video right now. For me.
Not for this one. I promise you will.
For me, anyways.
It's not hard to listen to.
I can't even
this
respond to text within 48 hours.
So I then took the video and I transcribed it, and then took that and rolled it through AI to have it generate the actual points for me. So this dude is basically saying, and he straight up says, he's like, I'm not one of those kinds of people who says the rapture will be on this date. And he's like, I historically, and and he's like, when somebody first told me the rapture is going to be on September 24th, he's like, I rolled my eyes, and cause that's not, but he's like, but they asked me to look into it, and I started looking into it a little bit. And the more I find, the more interesting it is. And he's like, I'm not even telling you the rapture is going to be on September 24th, but he's like, but there are some very interesting mathematics that happen, and I want to share those with you. And that's basically what the premise of the video is.
So to preface real quick, I guess, there's been, if you read the Bible and you pay attention to dates and time frames and numbers and prophecies and the way they go about all of that, there's patterns.
Yes,
there's patterns to recognize.
There's also fulfilled prophecies that occur that have patterns. And that's
he goes into a lot more of like the math.
Yeah, I've got it. I straight up got it.
But I'm just saying, like, before we get into the specific math,
because
I just want to kind of cover the general idea.
I like that. I want that because you need to like start me from the beginning. You can't just drop me in the middle of it.
It's easy to say someone said fact A, someone said this prophecy, and then this prophecy happened. But then, like, when you start looking at the dates, that's when this gets really interesting.
And I'll link the actual video in the Discord again. I think it might have popped up in the Discord originally, and that's maybe where I saw it.
Could be. I miss a lot of things.
There was a little bit of talk about like September 14th and then September 20th. Wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And that's where I think it was. I originally saw it. And so, but I'll link it again in the episode section. If you're not in our Discord, we have a section that's called episode things that it's almost like a timeline. So even if you're not listening to the podcast live, you can go into the episode thing and scroll back to whatever episode you listened to kind of get a gist of what we were all talking about during that episode. So we kind of keep it edited short so that you as a listener can go back to that episode, and I post the image of the episode. So all you got to do is go back to the image of the episode, and then everything below that is the conversation of that episode. So if I haven't convinced you to join the Discord yet, that's good reason.
Mom, join the Discord. So many people want to watch and listen to the videos that you come across.
Your mom's, dude.
She comes across so many. Her YouTube feed has got to be insane.
She comments on the YouTube. Yeah, his mom comments on the YouTube videos.
In the Discord?
No.
Okay. I was saying we were in the Discord.
She just comments on the YouTube, and so I get to dialogue with her. Yeah. But it would be interesting to see everybody get a chance to dialogue.
I thought you said mom joined the Discord.
No. I'm telling her. I'm speaking to her directly.
Okay.
Mother,
join the Discord.
I
was like, how did I miss that? But then again,
Discord.
I've been swiping the Discord. I'm sorry, guys. I'd catch up here and there, but
I'm terrible about it.
There's so many notifications, guys.
Yes, it's okay.
Which is awesome.
Just comment. I love it. Just comment as you can, because there's enough people in there now that it'd be impossible to stay up to date with it.
I've got to wipe noses and change diapers.
And now that school's back in session.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
Rapture.
So he starts off talking about Daniel's prophecies that have been fulfilled. He said there was the prophecy of the 483 years, which was 69 prophetic weeks. From the rebuilding of Jerusalem in 444 BC And then he accurately predicted that Jesus would triumphantly enter into Jerusalem in 32 AD. So the gap from 483 years from when he prophesied it from prophesied the rebuilding of Jerusalem in Daniel, and it links it out, and he says exactly where it's from. He's like Daniel 103 to 2. Oh, the AI did not copy, but he does list the scripture out. I don't know why my AI listed the timestamps as scripture.
Oh no.
So that's a little off. So I can't even, but I could share with you the timestamps from it. But then he said Daniel also predicted that Jesus would be cut off or crucified. So then Daniel also predicted the 70th week, so tribulation. So Daniel's final 7 refers to a 7-year period, which is associated what we talk about as the Great Tribulation period. Jacob's trouble, which is 2,550 days according to the Jewish calendar. Okay. Then he goes in to say that we talk about, and we always quote whenever anybody gives a date as to when the rapture is going to occur or when tribulation is going to start, depending on if you're pre, mid, or post-trib rapture. No one knows the day or the hour.
Right.
Which I was talking to you a little bit about this.
Yeah. I love this so much.
So he explains that in Matthew 24:36, and he's basically saying that verbiage is actually something that was a common phrase during his day that referred to the Feast of Trumpets, which is Yom Teruah. The Feast of Trumpets, which starts on a new moon, could not be precisely known in advance because within the doctrine, it had to have a visual confirmation requirement. So you could not start the Feast of Trumpets until there was a visual of the new moon, and they then would announce it. And sometimes they would announce it and you'd have like 30 minutes to start.
I think it was even multiple confirmations, right?
Yes,
like you
had to have 2
or 3. It was 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was at least 2. And so if it was cloudy and you couldn't see the moon, they couldn't confirm. So the dates would be either, so it'd be September 23rd or 24th. Would be the confirmation. So they would wait until they saw the new moon. They would then announce it. And then they'd be like, okay, the Feast of Trumpets begins at, whatever. And so there'd be this gap. So the phrase was, no one knows the day or the hour, but they know the area in which the Feast of Trumpets is supposed to begin. They just couldn't know precisely the day, but they knew the week. They knew the general time frame. They just didn't know the exact day or hour it would begin because it had to have the visual confirmation.
Why does that track so much, man?
And
goodness.
This is the biggest asterisk.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
It makes sense because then you see like knowing like the parables of like the wedding attendants keeping your lamps lit and like the wedding guests being invited and they're like, oh, I've got other stuff going on, and then like so they invited everyone else who actually was prepared and ready to go.
It talks about we should know the season and that kind of stuff. It's like we should know the season, but we don't know the day. Yes, we should be prepared, but also. It's in line with Jesus when he's on the cross and he's saying, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? That isn't him going, oh, I forgot and God left me. That's him quoting a psalm, right?
Right.
Psalm?
Yeah, I think
my brain just went
blank. He is
as
quoting
soon as
scripture. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember the scripture.
And
reference.
it was a widely known and memorized scripture, and it points to the Messiah being crucified. And so he was literally quoting something that they would then, it's a song. And so, they would immediately have gone and then started finishing it. And then it would have been convicting to those who were watching him be crucified at that point. And so this is kind of reminiscent of that, of knowing, and this is
so kind of calling out the fulfillment of that prophecy.
So this kind of goes back to recognizing that the Bible, and we've said this on here a billion times, the Bible was written for us, but it wasn't written to us in the sense that we have to take into context the original audience in order for us to understand its truth.
Right.
And so this would be kind of one of those reminiscent of like, oh my goodness, if the original audience knew that saying was just saying nobody knows the day or hour, they would have probably gone, oh, so the Messiah will return during the Feast of Trumpets? What? Yeah. So
now hold on, people. It ain't even got crazy yet. It ain't even got crazy yet. That's just the...
That is interesting. Yeah. And so this year, the Feast of Trumpets would then occur on either September 23rd or 24th once they have visual confirmation, basically.
Oh.
So then he goes into this year, the Feast of Trumpets is to fall on either the 23rd or the 24th, but there is kind of a special alignment that is going to occur on September 23rd because the UN summit, they are planning on signing a peace agreement.
What?
Hold on.
Now,
I just had a seizure.
let's fast forward 7 years later, adding 2,550 days, which would be the length of the 7-year tribulation from September 23rd, 2025, leads exactly to September 15th, 2032, which happens to be Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the day that Jesus is expected to return.
Oh, we ain't done.
Exactly.
We ain't done.
Okay. The pattern between the Feast of Trumpets and Yom Kippur has occurred exactly 0 times before Israel became a nation in 1948. That alignment has never occurred before.
What?
Now, hold on.
Okay.
Since then.
I can't hold on. My brain is broken.
Hold on.
I can't hold on.
Since Israel became a nation, it has happened exactly 6 times since 1948.
No.
And wait,
Yeah.
it will happen the 7th and final time
No.
forever in 2025. This is the last time those dates will ever align.
This is basically like their version of the Mayan calendar running out.
This is nuts. Okay, so then the timeline from Adam to Jesus was 4,000 years. And then Jesus to now, 2,000 years. I talked about that on the show.
Yes, you did.
That there's 2,000 years, 2,000 years, 2,000 years.
And wouldn't it be
But also that would be 6,000
jolly
years. So that would also be 6,000 years. So a day is like 1,000 years. On the 7th day, God rested. The 7th year or 1,000 years would be Jesus's
Oh my gosh.
season on earth. So then he brings into the story of Jacob working 7 years for Rachel following another 7 years, which is seen as the parallel between Jacob, whose name was originally changed to Israel, was 84 years old when he officially married Rachel after the second 7-year period. Israel as a nation will be 84 years old in 2032.
Oh my gosh.
The prophetess Anna was also 84 years old when she met Jesus. That one is, we're just going to add that in there just for fun, not necessarily.
It's the cherry.
We're going to meet Jesus, guys.
So
Now, okay.
again, and then he then emphasizes, I do want to wrap it up with this. He then does emphasize that we still don't know the day or the hour. We don't know for sure. But he said, if you were ever to want to use scripture to point to a date, this is the most convincing of all time. And so time could pass. Like tribulation doesn't happen, the rapture doesn't happen. We move on, and we don't even. And it's like, oh, we're done. We're past it. And I think from that point forward, you just can't use the Bible to justify a date.
Yeah, agreed. Well, and so to kind of springboard off of that,
until 20 years later, when everyone forgets about this, and then something else.
To kind of springboard off of that,
80 reasons the rapture will happen in 88. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Springboard off of that, and to very much agree and kind of like paraphrase in a concise way. I think if you had AI read the whole Bible and gave it proper context and everything, and then you asked it to like write the script the way it thinks God would.
Yeah.
I think it would put the rapture on September 23rd.
So, and I will just say this. I've always thought that the rapture and tribulation would occur either at the very end of my life or in the next couple generations. Mm-hmm. Not like midlife. You know, like I guess I'm hopefully I'm not midlife yet, but that age frame.
You have 2 children.
Young children.
But sorry, Courtney. I didn't mean I was trying to drag that.
But no, so be on I've never really estimated that because there was so much stuff that as somebody who has studied end time theology and I was obsessed about it there for a little while, and I'm very passionate about it still. There were things that needed to occur, things like the Euphrates River drying up, drying up, in the temple being built, the perfect red heifer, all of those things. And like with the red heifer being sacrificed on July 1st, that was kind of like the last thing. That was the last thing that was that until this happens, it can't.
Yeah.
For me, at least. And other people would disagree. Right. And there are people who are smarter than me who have studied end time theology who disagree with me. And so I'm not even saying I know I'm right. Because I think if anybody ever says, like, I guarantee for a fact I know this, don't listen to them. Because they're prideful and they're not reading the Bible for truth. They're reading it for their own gratification. Or their own, whatever. You know what I'm saying. But as somebody who has studied it, and I am somewhat knowledgeable in it, for the first time in my entire life, I genuinely have the sense and the feeling that it could actually occur at any moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's the rapture or tribulation starting, one or the other, depending on where you stand on that, the tribulation could begin at any moment. And seeing what's kind of going down in the Middle East and with okay, so I just have this thought process, okay? And this might actually get us flagged. If it does, join the Discord and you'll get the full episode in there. Which, how would they know? Because they're not listening to it if it got banned. Whatever. It's stupid. If it does get banned, I'll put out a separate episode that says, hey, this episode got banned. You have to join the Discord to listen to it. I'll do that. But anyway, so what's going on in the Middle East and in Israel, knowing what I know about the Jewish people who are in Israel and their religion, and even just think practically back to the Old Testament and seeing that when the Jewish people obeyed what they believed God to be telling them to do when it came to war, what the results were. This small army would overtake literal giants and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's not that far-fetched to believe that the current Jewish religious leaders, that's how I could talk when I don't want to get something banned, just have a really bad religion.
Marriage.
The religious widows really want to.
Whenever you start talking like that,
yes,
things are going to get serious. It doesn't sound serious, but it is serious. Do that again.
Serious.
I can't do that.
Anyway,
this is Futurama Nixon.
Let's get serious. Anyway.
Oh my God.
So it's not far-fetched to recognize that the current Jewish leaders would have the same thought process when it comes to doing something like destroying the dome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know that it would start a war. They might be okay with it because they believe God is on their side.
Yeah.
If that were to break out, how fast would a World War III occur? World War III is something that is going to happen during tribulation.
Yeah.
And you're even starting to see the world turn against Israel as a nation, not necessarily Jewish people, but Israel as a nation,
right,
because of the way that they've been acting. And so now that they've sacrificed this red heifer, they have the ashes, they have Jewish people going onto the Temple Mount very unabashedly, very, very intentionally and confrontationally almost, praying on the mount, because the one thing holding them back from praying on the mount was having the ashes that could purify them. Now that they are doing so, you can now connect the dots to see.
You know that there's people there praying, but according to one source, they have the ashes, right?
Well, It's roughly more than 50% of Jewish people believe that the red heifer that was sacrificed fulfilled all of the religious commandments, which it did. It fulfilled because the red heifer,
the imperfect one that was sacrificed?
was not imperfect. You weren't here for our red heifer update, were you?
Well, yeah, but
it was not imperfect. Owner of the cattle.
I was here and we did talk about that and stuff. But according to official reports, it was imperfect. But we were theorizing that it was.
According to the owner of the cattle,
I know that is the one
sacrificed.
source that you said.
That's the only source that matters. So one way or the other, and it was even according to 100% of Jewish people recognize that the red heifer that was sacrificed was perfect. The only thing that is debated is whether or not the ceremony counted.
Yeah.
Because more than 50% of Jewish people do not believe it has to take place on the Temple Mount. And there is a smaller sect that believes that in order for the ceremony to count, it would have to take place on the Temple Mount. That's the debate. Not whether or not the heifer that was sacrificed was pure when he was sacrificed. Ceremonial burning.
So that's
they don't
just
like the word sacrifice. Does that make sense? Did I explain that?
Nope. Keep going.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
It seemed like a different issue last time we talked about it. Sorry, go ahead, Phil.
No, that was just the crap story they fed, right?
They originally they said so when they went to the government officially,
I'm just
quote unquote,
asking for sources.
they claim Byron Stenson's Facebook. I posted it in the Discord. He went through
I get what both of you mean,
detail.
and it doesn't matter.
It's
continue.
Yeah, it's the source is the source is that there was two perfect heifers. They then sacrificed the one, and they even named the name. That named of the heifer was approved as being pure by all of the different religious sect leaders
let's keep going. That's fine.
So a perfect red heifer was sacrificially burned, just whether or not the ceremony counted. And the majority of Jewish people do, in Israel at least, the majority of Israeli Jews do believe that it counted. And they are now using the ashes to go up onto the Temple Mount to pray, which is why we're seeing thousands of Jews all of a sudden for the first time, literally ever, in Israel's history, going onto the Temple Mount without care, praying, because it's the first time they've been allowed to do so, because otherwise they weren't ceremony clean. Seeing that brings into thoughts of, okay, these guys have a new rigor that they didn't have before.
Vigor.
Vigor? Rigor? Vigor?
No.
A new vigor.
Well, I don't know. Does rigor work too?
They're passionate. They have a new passion. Because I don't know.
More passion. More energy.
I don't have my foot. I don't have my
Oh, that's a good bit. That's a good soundbite. Squeaky wheel.
You're
Squeaky wheel laugh.
Oh, I love it. But anyway, so they're more passionate about it. And so Commandy actually made a point in the Discord that was actually really interesting. And he said, because last week Mike was talking about how the average Jewish person doesn't know anything about the red heifer. And Commandy brought a point that there is a very significant difference between the average American Jewish person and an Israeli Jew.
Yeah.
I was alluding to that when I was bringing up my perspective on that. I was just trying to be kind of culturally sensitive with it. Because
You're wrong, Mike. You're
just
wrong.
from what I've seen in TV and stuff, and just I watched The Nanny growing up. I watched The Big Bang Theory. So their interpretation of Jewish beliefs and how they adhere to stuff that I culturally, well, according to the Bible, know is I always got the interpretation of American Jewish seems to be evolved in a little bit different.
Yeah,
kind of like
culturally
an American Catholic.
Culturally Jewish versus practicing legitimate hardcore Jewish is not the same thing.
Because even with Catholicism, there is practicing Catholic and non.
Oh yeah, I go to mass on Saturdays.
Religious, yes,
and
there's Catholics that just go to mass on the Kagers, the Christmas, Easter, and graduation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard that term before. That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Kager Catholics, the Kager Christians, they're the Catholic, or they're not Catholic. The Kager Christians are the ones who only go Christmas, Easter, and graduation.
But yeah, it's just the difference between like, yes, this is the ideals that I align with. This is the belief system I align with versus actually.
Well,
right.
Yeah. And because Jewish is
part of it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
Okay, because Jewish is also a heritage. It'd be the same way as me saying that I'm descendant
Danish.
from Vikings.
Yeah.
You know, I am.
Yeah.
You know, and we genetically can trace it to Viking kings. But
you make apple skippers for holidays.
But that doesn't make me practicing Viking.
Right.
It means heritage-wise, I am related to the Vikings, so
disappointment.
So I am a Viking, in air quotes. Bennett laughing.
That was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Dad, you suck.
Yeah. Your disappointment, Bennett.
Oh my gosh. But also fun tie-in, and I think actually, fortunately, we didn't really go into aliens today.
I was going to say, we're not.
I want to save it for when Mike is here because he has so much more than the rest of us on it.
Yeah.
But a good tie-in is going to be that 31 Atlas or whatever, 3i Atlas. So we're talking the dates of the possible rapture, or possible tribulation starting. And, am I correct in saying that the first pass of 3i Atlas, like the nearest point, is going to be around that same time?
3i Atlas. Oh, is that the... Okay. I am living under a rock. What is that again?
So 3i Atlas, it's the third interstellar object we have ever seen in our solar system. But everything about it is wrong.
Right. That's right. The thing close to the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
It will be close to the sun. Currently, I think it's out by Mars.
No, I'll tell you what. I'm hoping,
But yes,
because
you are
I'm ready.
correct.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Hoping.
I'm tired, boss. I'm ready. I'm ready to go home.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
But everything about it is wrong. It's like it doesn't have a dust plume like a normal comet would. It's also the hot spot of it is on the wrong side of it. So it's I think it's on the front rather than the back or something. Or no, it's in the back rather than the front, but there's no dust plumage. And it seems to be speeding up and slowing down randomly. Okay, I was way off. The closest approach to Earth will be December 19th.
I'd be interested to look through the random odd little bits of prophecy and see if there's any significance to, what would that be? Not quite 3 months after the
That's all right.
possible rapture. Yeah. I apologize for the noise that I made.
It will be visible on Earth through September before it moves too close to the sun.
Okay. Interesting.
Do I get to have my birthday first, guys?
Yeah.
I should be able to, right?
Yeah, you'll be good. It'll be.
This better be a good birthday if it's going to be my last one.
We got to go all out just in case, and it'd be like because the Feast of Trumpets is so close to your birthday every year. Every time it happens is so close to your birthday that we just celebrate your birthday like it's the last one, like on Parks and Rec, and we go in and we're like, no, this year, we've got the.
We can celebrate my 29th in heaven.
I have doomsday. Like I know what day it's gonna have. Yeah, it's like, oh, I restudied the ancient texts, and it's actually gonna be this day.
I will say.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're booked up. Oh no. I just looked at it again. It's actually 2 days later. Yeah, no, we're open. We could schedule that.
Yeah, exactly. That's it reminds me it's all that
the lizard
88
people.
reasons to 80 all that stuff. It feels
lizard.
so cultish. Lizard.
Do it.
Lizard.
Thank you.
Lizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
The what people? The what people?
Lizard.
People.
Okay, so
Okay, I approve of the usage of that.
so September it's beneficial when I forget that it's there until the last I was listening to last week's episode. I was annoying myself already, and I wasn't even using it that often.
I was.
But
yeah.
So the 3i Atlas will September 24th is right almost exactly when they predict that it will no longer be visible because it has gone behind the sun.
Oh.
Weird, right?
Oh. It's my entire response to that, my whole reaction.
September 24th, observers will notice that the visibility has faded, and they will then prepare for the gap before the reemergence. It says post-perihelion, but I read it as post-tribulation, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? Post-perihelion or what?
The astronomers know something we don't.
So then eventually we'll see it again in December or something like that. September until December. Oh, so next week on
Biblically Accurate Bigfoot.
But yeah, so next week, hopefully we have Mike. Mike should be back, and we should have hopefully a babysitter for the boys.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out our mic situation. I apologize for last week when I was setting up the
microphone situation.
Gave me the crappy mic on purpose and the crappy chair.
So we have it's a new mic. It's a new mic, and I was like, okay, I remember this. Why aren't we using this mic? And I plugged it in, and I remembered, if you listen to the first few episodes, my voice sounded pretty horrible. It's because the mic is broken, and it sounds like that. It sounds like there must be a piece in there like loose or something. And so I have to figure out a different mic because,
And then we came down this morning, and I was like, oh, yeah, does this mic have a button? And because Tanner, you got me a new mic, a different mic to use. And I was like, is there a switch on it? I got to turn it on. And I looked, there was a piece of masking tape on it that said broke.
Yep. And
exclamation mark. And I'm like, this one's broken too. So yeah, Tanner's really got to go to the bathroom.
There is one more mic that I can try before I'll have to actually buy a new mic.
Yeah.
But
we'll put you out of your misery.
We might only have 4 more episodes before the rapture.
Dude.
They better be good.
So our last 4 episodes, let's plan them out. Make sure this show goes out with a bang. Imagine if the rapture happens and just our podcast continues to exist because I have it set up to automatic payment and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And so it would just continue to exist through the tribulation, and
until
people could
bank
listen.
Account runs out of money.
And so imagine
we should Hitchhiker's Guide to the Tribulation.
See,
dude, we should the week before.
That's the math. That's the math that you need to do.
The week before the tribulation thing, before September 24th, we will do a How to Survive the Tribulation episode.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Just for fun.
Absolutely.
That sounds 100%. Like a blast. We look forward to that. We'll plan that one out more than any other just because it's funny and it'll be fun to listen to.
That's great.
And also maybe a legitimate.
But imagine if the tribulation did happen and you just stumble across this podcast and you're like, where did all the Christians go? Oh, here's a Christian podcast. And they listen to it and it's like, we are in the tribulation and they give their life to Christ. And then in heaven, they'll be like,
that's the math that we need to do because you said that it's on auto pay and stuff. So we need to do the math of how much money is in our bank account and is it going to line up exactly with the 7 years of tribulation?
Yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good.
So yeah.
We'll be good.
No.
All right. For real. Make sure it lasts. And then we're in heaven and somebody's like, hey, I'm here because your podcast. Be like,
that'd be sick.
Exactly.
That'd be sick.
So with that, share the podcast with your non-Christian friends.
Shameless plug.
They will
sponsored by Dubby, which I still need to order
Bigfoot, Dubby, Big A, Bigfoot. Enter it in. You'll get a discount. Hit me up for hot sauce. And Phil, remind them to be there.
Biblically accurate best.
Peace out. Your BAs. We love you guys.
Okay, bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?